Hi, I'm Winnie, and today I'll be talking about women's rights. I think that women's rights should be no different than anyone else's, and today I'll be interviewing my friends on that. Today I'll be interviewing Amanda. What do you think about women's rights currently?
I think that they aren't very fair and that we need to change the stereotypes of women around the world so that we can have more rights.
Do you think stereotypes affect women's rights?
I think they do because the stereotypes say that women can't work hard or they have to always be working in the kitchen, even when women can do stuff that boys can't even do as well.
When you think of like a well-known feminist, who do you think of?
I either think of Malala or Michelle Obama or one of those, or Susan B. Anthony, because they all work to help women in different parts of the world.
Okay. Sorry. Why do you think women still don't have completely fair rights?
I don't think that they have completely fair rights because they don't have they have stereotypes that aren't true. So all people think that they can't do something even though they're really good at it.
What are some rights that you think could be improved for women? Specific.
Mostly technology, engineering, and maybe
jobs in that field.
And stuff, like jobs in a field that most men have that job in, like maybe the government and stuff.
How do you think we could give more rights to women and girls?
We could look past the stereotypes and we could do protests and write to people high up in the staff of government.
Okay. How do you think we can include women in more male-dominated activities or fields?
We could look probably past the stereotypes and look at their real qualities to see if they are fit for the job or not.
To see if they can actually do it. And then how do you think men could affect women's rights with their higher standards?
If they do fight for women's rights, it will really help because the men realize that all the stereotypes aren't true, so that women could get better jobs.
So just use it wisely and help fight for the cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
On to the next interview.
Now I'm interviewing River. What do you think about women's rights currently?
I think there's still work to be done. I think that although they've gotten better, I think that we still need to take steps to make men, women, and all other genders equal.
Do you think stereotypes affect women's rights?
Yeah, it just depends on the person. It doesn't mean someone doesn't want to participate in movements or stuff. They could be afraid, or they could just not be extroverted that way. So,
who do you think of when you think of a well-known feminist or women's rights activist?
sometimes I think of Angela Davis, or I think of just people who have stepped out of their way to help help women, or I've seen there's just so many names, what's her name? She's the Supreme Court Justice. It's Sonia Sotomayor. She was one of the first Latina people on the in the Supreme Court. And then there's just so many other people.
Why do you think women still don't have equal rights, even though it's been so long fighting for them?
Maybe because of the system that we live under. It just makes it more difficult. Also, there needs to be more people standing up for women's rights, not just women. So that's probably one of our setbacks.
How do you think we could give girls and women more rights?
By starting more programs like Alexa Cafe to give us more outlets to express what we like as a gender and as a group of people.
How do you think we could include women in male-dominated forces and activities?
By going in numbers, like power in numbers, strength in numbers, or if we have enough people representing us, then we could probably, we could bring up ways that a new system would be equal for men and women.
What are some rights that you think women should have but they still don't? Or that should be more like female inclusive?
Maybe the wage gap. It's still very big difference between men and women wages, even though it might not seem like a lot to people. But I don't think it should be an issue in the first place if it's equal labor for doing the same thing, and if you're just as good at that same thing as a male or someone else.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next.
Okay, let's disassemble your camera.
You're not videoing, are you?
Maybe.
Okay, turn it off, please. I need to put it away.